Hi, I'm Olivia Hayes, and this is the story of how I uncovered the darkest family secrets, the ones my parents spent years hiding, and how revealing the truth finally set me free. It's messy, real, heartbreaking, and honestly, it changed everything. I grew up in a small town in Ohio, the kind of place where everyone knows everyone, and reputations matter more than reality. My parents, Richard and Melissa Hayes, were obsessed with being admired. My dad was the successful business owner. My mom was the perfect church volunteer. And I was the quiet daughter who always felt like something was off. People used to tell me, "Olivia, your parents are amazing." And I would smile. But inside, I always wondered why my own home felt like a stage, because behind closed doors, nothing was perfect. My parents fought constantly. My dad would disappear for nights. My mom pretended everything was fine, as long as people didn't know. I learned early that image meant everything to them, even more than their own child. But it wasn't until I turned 16 that I realized just how deep their lies went. One night, I accidentally opened the wrong email account on our family laptop, my dad's, and there it was. Dozens of messages, hotel confirmations, photos. My dad wasn't going on business trips. He was visiting another woman. For years, my hands were shaking as I scrolled. My mom had no idea. Or maybe she did, but chose to ignore it to protect their image. Either way, I screenshot everything, not for revenge, but because something in me knew the truth wouldn't stay buried forever. That's when I started collecting every lie, every receipt, every message. I never planned to use them. I just needed proof that I wasn't crazy. I didn't know then that those screenshots would later destroy their entire reputation. When I turned 18, I found a locked box in the attic labeled OH, my initials. Inside were documents, real birth records. My biological mother wasn't Melissa. I wasn't their daughter by birth. They had adopted me when I was 3, not because they loved me, but because my adoptive mom couldn't have children and they wanted to keep their perfect family image alive. My biological mother, she had tried to contact me when I was 10. My parents hid every letter, every attempt, every message. They didn't want me to know I had another family who loved me. They lied about everything. I sat on the attic floor for hours, crying so hard I couldn't breathe. That was the day something inside me changed. I wasn't going to be their puppet anymore. At 22, I got accepted into a university journalism program. It was my dream, but my parents refused to help me financially, even though they easily could. Why? Because they didn't want me leaving town. They didn't want me becoming independent. They didn't want me to discover more secrets, my dad said. College is a waste of money for girls, my mom said. We sacrificed so much for you. Be grateful. Sacrificed. They lied about my mother. They lied about their marriage. And they lied about me. That night, I snapped. I opened that old folder, the one with years of evidence, and I spent weeks organizing everything. Emails, bank statements, photos, my real birth records, my biological mother's letters. I was done being silent. On my 23rd birthday, I invited my parents to a family dinner. They walked in smiling, dressed like they were attending a photo shoot for Perfect Parents magazine. We sat down. I brought out a folder. My dad laughed nervously. My mom asked, "What's this?" I clicked the TV remote. The screen lit up with a slideshow. Every screenshot, every hotel bill, every photo of my dad with his mistress. My dad froze. My mom's face turned white. Then I showed the birth documents. The letters from my biological mother they hid from me. My mom started crying. "You don't understand." I cut her off. "No, you don't understand. You don't get to ruin my life and pretend you're victims." For once, they had no script to hide behind. No audience to fool. Just the truth. They begged me not to go public. They said it would destroy the family name. Exactly. So I posted everything anonymously on a local community forum. Screenshots, documents, years of lies. Within hours, the story went viral in our town. My dad's business lost clients. My mom resigned from every committee. People finally saw who they really were. They tried calling me non-stop, but I blocked their numbers and moved into my own apartment using the scholarship I-D1. After submitting my investigation project, turns out, exposing the truth got me into the top journalism program after all. Revealing their lies didn't just destroy their pride, it freed me. I met my biological mother months later. She cried the moment she saw me. She said she never stopped loving me, and for the first time in my life, I felt chosen. I built a life far away from the lies, a life they can only watch from a distance. And guess what? That's exactly what they deserve. If there's one thing I learned, it's this: the truth doesn't stay buried forever. And sometimes revenge isn't destroying someone, it's freeing yourself so completely they can't touch you ever again.